Okay, now we're going to review about the imperfects. Luckily, the imperfect does not have all those irregular verbs and special things we have to remember like we did the preterite. It's a little bit simpler and hopefully still fresh in your mind because we just did this last chapter. Do you remember our verb endings? Abba, abbas, abba, abamos, abba. Notice the accent in abamos. Okay, so if it's the verb hablar, hablaba, hablabas, hablaba, hablabamos, hablaban. Okay, it's not hablabamos, hablabamos. And the ER-IR endings? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's all those sounds like you're doing karate. Ia, ias, ia, iamos, ian. Okay. Accents on all those forms. Okay, got those? All right, we had 3 irregular verbs. What was the first one? Ser. And it ser, how did we conjugate that one? Era, eras, era, éramos, eran. Remember, éramos accented in the nosotros form only. Éramos on that first E. Then we had the verb ver. How do we conjugate this one? Or on the imperfect side of your paper. So you don't have to write it if you don't want to.
You write it on the lines?
No, not on the lines. We're not using the lines yet. The lines we're going to use for the uses of the imperfect and the preterite. Okay. Ver's conjugation: veia, veias, veia, veiamos, and veian. Okay. Notice the accents in all its forms because it does have those IR verb endings, so they have to be accented to keep that I strong next to the 2 vowels. The last verb, ear. How do we conjugate ear?
Iba.
See, the iba. Iba, ibas, iba, ibamos, and iban. Notice nosotros form, ibamos is the only accented part of that verb. Ser and ear, accent only in nosotros. Ver has it in all of them because it has those IR verb endings within this conjugation. It's a lot to take in one day, isn't it? Yet there's more. See?
On ver, which eyes are accented and which?
On ver, all the eyes are accented.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Only nosotros on ser and ear. Ver has all of them. All right, we good to go? Now I would like for you to look at the preterite side of your worksheet, and we're going to write in just a second. I'm going to give you one use for the preterite. I just want you to write that like up in the top column somewhere or top heading, but don't write this first part on line 1. Okay? An interrupting action. Just make this like 1A and the next one be 1B. I added this in after I printed these sheets and I didn't feel like wasting more paper. So this is like 1A. I want you to think of preterite as an interrupting action. And I drew a little line there. That's my graphic to show you. I want you to think of the preterite as something that has a definite beginning and a definite ending. Okay? I tripped over the rock and then I fell. Okay, the me falling started with me tripping on the rock and breaking my face on the floor. Okay, it has a definite beginning, definite ending.
So we put this one.
Make that like right at the top here. Make it 1A or something. Or if you want to call it 1, then make the others 2, 3, and 4. You can do that as well. Okay, then here's also with your 1A. Cuando, I want you to think of as used when it's interrupting. For example, you could say, I was doing my homework when the lights went out. Okay, the lights going out interrupted me doing my homework. So the lights going out is the preterite part of that sentence. I was doing my homework when the lights went out. interrupting me doing my homework. Okay, so on that first line, it expresses specific actions or events completed in the past. Expresses specific actions or events completed in the past. And an example I have is she took third place. It's just an event or an action of her taking third place. Okay, so we just talk about something that happened once. Boom, there you go. All right, on number 3, I want you to know that it expresses specific actions or events at a specific point in time. Highlight, circle, do whatever, that word time. When time is paired with an action, when I say like at 2:30 there was a fire drill, no, there's not going to be a fire drill, best I know. But at 2:30 there was a fire drill. The action of the fire drill happening is paired with the time of 2:30, so that's pointing out the preterite action there. It's completed at that specific time. Here's another example. Llegué a escuela a las 7:30. I arrived at school at 7:30. Okay. Don't get this confused with telling time. When I said it was 7:30, that's going to be in the imperfect, and I'll talk about that in here in a bit. But this is when it gives at blank o'clock. You're going to use the action, your verb action here is going to be in the preterite. Does that make sense? An action is paired with time, that action is in the preterite. As I arrived at school at 7:30, that's talking about one specific event at a time. And the last use of the preterite is stating a particular action, very similar to number 2, and they kind of get wishy-washy back and forth. The action maybe in number 4 is a little bit different from events in number 2, so you can keep them separate that way. Me falling down, there's another example. Mekai. You're alluding to the fact you just fell down one time. Questions on the preterite so far? Think you're got an okay grasp on it? Let me stop the video real quick.